Hi, everybody. This is John back again. And I wanted to make a quick video about how to move on after losing a loved one, how to move forward, how to get back in the motion of life. You see, when we lose a loved one, what we're losing is a connection to unconditional love, a connection to love itself, a connection to God. You know, those people that we lose that we consider loved ones are a representation of God, of Source, here in the physical world where we're away. They are something that represents something more. And we come to rely on them to be there. We come to depend upon that source of love to be there for us. And when they pass away, they leave us without that connection, without that fix. It's very sad to lose a loved one. And one of the reasons it is so sad is because in some small way, we might be a little bit addicted to their love. And that's okay. That's part of who we are. We drew strength from that love that was coming from them. One of the greatest gifts that we can get here is to have that love taken from us. And I call that a gift, and it sounds like a terrible gift, but by experiencing the love with them and then having that love taken away, we can choose to recognize how much we did love them. We can choose to focus on the lack of not having them and their love, or we can choose on remembering who they were and the love that they represented and carry that forward through our lives and say, I knew that person. I have that memory. Those experiences are valid, and I can carry that love with me through the rest of my life. See, the part where they leave us behind here alone in this world is the smallest part of your experience with them. The part where they've left is not the experience you should remember them for. You should not focus on the idea that they're not here any longer, because focusing on the fact that they're not here any longer is negating all the love they gave you. Focus on the love they gave you and remember all the great times and all the good experiences. But realize that you were blessed. You're blessed to have them in your life, and that blessing does not end with their death. That blessing does not end with them passing on. Because in reality, when they crossed over, they just crossed over. They're not gone. They're still here. The only thing that you really lost is the ability to communicate with them on a regular basis. But even that is interesting, because if you can retune yourself and continue the conversation. And the way you retune yourself is very simple. Number one, when you get that random thought that pops into your head of that person that you loved so much, realize the random thoughts are them saying hello. That is a way of them connecting to you. And they can't do all the physical world things to communicate anymore. All they can do is communicate through your thoughts and feelings. You go down the road and you see something that reminds you of them, you get a good feeling. That they're communicating with you through those thoughts and feelings. Myself, my mother passed away several years ago, and every so often she'll pop into my head, and I'll know full well that's her communicating. Now, what I did was I put a picture of her on my mantle, and every so often I'll get that feeling. I'll look over, and the way that picture was taken, she's got a little smirk on her face, like, it's me, is it right? So I know that she's with me all the time, so I don't focus on the fact that I don't have my mom here anymore. I don't focus on that. I focus on the fact that I'm still having communications with her. I'm still talking with her. And I also know that she would never want me to pine for her. And my mother was one of those people who, she lived her life of service. She wanted to serve her family and her friends and her church, and she would never want someone to throw away the rest of their life, pining for them or wanting them. So the greatest thing I can do, and probably the greatest thing you can do, is to literally say, I loved my time with you, and I'm going to remember everything about it with fond memories. And I may miss you for not being here, but I know you're still with me. I know you're still around, and I know that you would not want me to go through the rest of my life feeling sad for not having you, or choosing to be alone for not having you. Now, I'm not saying go out and find another man or find another woman or find another partner of some form. What I'm saying is be you. Be the person that they loved. Be the person that is truly loving and caring, and they loved you for certain elements of you. You love them for certain elements of them. So the best thing you could do for them is be the person they loved. And the best thing you can do for yourself is remember them for the person that you loved. Not for the person who's gone, or not remembering them for the lack of them not being here. You need to stay focused on the fact that the largest part of their life was the loving part, and this tiny piece at the end when they crossed over. It's just a tiny piece at the end. They would not want to be remembered forever for this tiny piece at the end, or focused on for this tiny piece at the end. They would want to be remembered for the totality of their life, the things that they've done, the things that they made you feel, right? Because feeling is the key. And moving on really comes down to a choice of what you're focusing on. Are you focusing on the bad part at the end and choosing that there is no longer an option for anything else to come in my life if it's good? And like I said, you don't have to try to find somebody else, or at this point in your life you might not be able to imagine anybody else. But that's just it. You shouldn't be imagining someone else. What you should be doing is living your life, being you fully. And if somebody else comes into your life, great. If somebody doesn't come into your life, great. Love you fully. Be you fully. And like I said, if somebody else sees you and loves you for you, and you can have that feeling again, it really comes down to making the choices as you go in your present moment. But be the person that they loved. Love them for the person that they were and are. And remember, you're never alone. They haven't left. They just can't talk to you in the normal way. But all those little thoughts, all those little feelings, the little memories of goodness and joy, that's them. The moments of sadness and grief is your own negative focus. And you have the ability to let that go and get back into remembering them for who they truly were. And that is the important part of all of this video. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.